Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Armstrong Sports. You are watching high school baseball. My name is Jason Stevens, and we are here at Fairland High School to watch the Fairland Dragons host the Chesapeake Panthers in an OVC battle here in Proctorville. It's an 80-degree afternoon, sun peeking out behind the clouds. On the mound today for the Dragons will be number 10, Riley Sowards. Starting pitcher for the Dragons. On the mound today for the Panthers will be number 10, Austin Browning. So we're getting ready to do the warm-ups here in the first inning. Quickly give you the lineups. Like I said, Sowards is on the mound for the Dragons. Defoe behind the plate. At first base is Kyle Rankin. Second base is Chapman. Garrett Looney playing shortstop. Adkins third base. West in the left field. Gavin Hunt in center. And Salmons will be the right fielder for the Dragons. As far as the batting order for Chesapeake, Trent Dirth will be batting first. He's the center fielder. Thomas Sentz, the second baseman. Batting second, Austin Browning, who is on the mound, will be batting third. Travis Grimm, the shortstop, batting fourth. Jonah Ridenauer, the catcher, will be batting fifth. Stevens, the right fielder, no relation, batting sixth. Literal playing third base, batting seventh, number 14. Matt Dameron will be the designated hitter for Marshall, who's playing first base, and then Levi Best is playing left field, batting ninth for the Panthers. The Dragons with only one loss so far in the OVC. A very good season. Coaching for the Dragons is Michael Hill, and Justin Davis is the coach for the Panthers. Beautiful night, 80 degrees, a little bit of breeze blowing in off the river in towards home plate. I don't know, 5 miles an hour at the tops. Sun's feeling kind of warm. Not sure what kind of music we're listening to here, but hey, you know what? It's baseball. It's a great day for baseball. Glad to be here. Here at Roger Snyder Field here, which has been here for a long time. One things that has stayed the same is Fairland has undergone the construction and different changes over the years. This baseball field has been here for a long time in the same place. At least since the 70s, probably longer than that. Here we go. One more pitch. The Dragons will be ready. Number 4, Trent Dirth stepping to the plate. Sophomore center fielder. There we go, let's play some ball. Riley Sowards from the windup to start the game. First pitch. Called strike. Ball's going to be foul. Grabbed there by Adkins. Count moves to 0-2. Again, you're watching Armstrong Sports, Chesapeake and high school varsity baseball here in Proctorville, Ohio on a beautiful spring afternoon, 80 degrees. Curveball. Pounded into the Dragon. Another curveball that stays a little high. Runs the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Darth looking down. Coach Burcham. Wind up. Another curveball. Didn't quite pull that one all the way down there. I tried to throw a slider there, maybe. I don't know. It's harder to throw that curveball in the earlier innings when your arm's still alive and ready to go. It gets a little tired. That curve goes a little better. There's a fastball right at the announcer. Whew. Good grief, I'm glad that fence was there. I don't even have anybody up here to commiserate. I'm just up here talking by myself. I don't know if they can hear me down there or not. But that woke me up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the first. There, Sowers got that curveball to break over the plate for the first out. More of a slider than a curveball. It looked about the same speed as his fastball. That'll bring up Thomas Sentz, the second baseman. There was a fastball. Sentz a little behind that one. High heater, inside corner. There's a little breeze picking up in off the river. I don't think we'll get some rain, but the ball's going to be right up the middle, right back at Sowers. Sowers steps, throws over to Rankin, and there's 2 outs. Bring up Austin Browning. Browning checking the signs. Browning from the left side. Soward shakes off again. Steps off the rubber. We got 2 outs here in the top of the first. Browning stepping in. Pitcher versus pitcher here. Inside. Ball's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Soward's nowhere near the plate with Browning. Browning up, the senior, 4-year starter for the Panthers. Looking for a good pitch to hit here. That one's a little bit outside. Browning took a swirp at it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're here just starting. If you're just joining us, this is Armstrong Sports broadcast of Fairland Chesapeake High School baseball. We're just starting here in the top of the first. Glad you're here joining us. My name's Jason Stevens. That's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful night for baseball. Softball game going on over there across the way. Ball hits the outside corner. It runs the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Top of the first. Here comes Sowers from the windup. That's inside, and that'll be ball 4. Browning will make his way down to first base. First base runner for the Panthers. Travis Graham, the sophomore shortstop, steps in for the peak. 2 outs. See if Browning will try to advance to second here. Browning has good speed, excellent speed actually. Was the starting quarterback for Chesapeake back in the fall. Graham swinging a little bit ahead of that one. 1 strike. Sowers took a little off of that. That's a breaking ball in the dirt. Browning will advance. And that moves the count to 1 ball, 1 strike. We got 2 outs here in the top of the first. The Panthers are threatening now with a runner in scoring position. Cleanup hitter number 2, Travis Graham at the plate. That ball's sliced into the parking lot. Out of play for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Grimm has taken 2 aggressive cuts at the baseball. Looking to get a base hit here, bringing Browning in. Soward's looking to get a strikeout or any old kind of out, really, from the stretch. Broke that curveball off. It's the second strikeout on a curveball. And that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 man left on base for the Panthers, and the Fairland Dragons are coming up to bat. All right, and welcome back. You are watching Armstrong Sports. This is high school baseball, Chesapeake and Fairland. Bottom of the first inning. My name is Jason Stevens. I'm watching the ball game with you. Thank you for joining us. Leading off the bottom of the first for Fairland will be number 4, Gavin Hunt, the center fielder. Austin Browning on the mound. Looks like we got some walk-up music here for the Dragons. Ball 1. Ball's in the dirt a little bit. Browning from the windup. Ball 2. Browning trying to keep the ball down. A little too low. There it is. There's a strike. Just a real easy delivery from Austin. Gavin took till he get a strike. Let's see if he gets a swing in here. There he is. That's going to be over the ground ball. Oh, took a wild hop there as it went right past Travis Graham, and that'll be a base reach. I'm not sure what that'll be scored. Probably an error. Dakota Chapman, the second baseman, steps in. Hunt with the lead over first. Browning in the stretch. Fastball. Hunt leaves on the first pitch, and he's going to be safe. Hunt with some speed. A stolen base there. Puts pressure on the Panther defense right off the bat. So Hunt will be in scoring position with nobody out. That was a ball, by the way. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. High all fastball so far from Browning. 2 balls, 1 strike. There goes Hunt, trying to steal third. The throw. And Hunt has stolen his way over to third base. That was a ball as well, so 3 balls, 1 strike. Gavin is quick. Chapman hadn't swung the bat yet. There he swung it. This time Grimm was able to pick it up, throw the first. He's out at first, and Hunt will score. Chapman with the RBI, and that makes the score 1-0. And that'll bring number 12, Alex Rogers, the designated hitter, to the plate. Tyler Sammons is the right fielder, and he is Rogers is the designated hitter. Nobody on, 1 out. That's a strike. Browning back to the windup. There's a little curveball there. A little break to it. No balls, 2 strikes for the designated hitter for the Dragons. Well, that one's up in the zone. Caught out there by Levi Best out there in left field, and that's 2 outs. Kyle Rankin, the senior, stepping in. Cleanup hitter for the Dragons. Nobody on. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-0. Fairland over Chesapeake. Here comes Browning. Little breaking ball there. I don't know if you can see that from the camera or not, but that ball had a nice little break to it once it hit that coming in past the dirt. Broke outside. Same pitch, only they started a little bit further inside that time. It didn't break quite as much. Ranking out in front of it just a little bit. No balls, 2 strikes. Let's see what Browning does here to the big cleanup hitter for the Dragons. Same pitch, he just worked him right inside, and that was it. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and that is the end of the first inning with your score, Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. And welcome back. This is the top of the second inning. Jonah Ridenauer, the catcher, will be stepping in for the Panthers with a sweet purple helmet on there. Riley Sowards from the windup. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Sowards, who unofficially threw about 18 pitches in the first inning. Ooh. A little low and outside. Ridenauer is the number 5 hitter for Chesapeake. Chesapeake did manage to get a runner to second base there. Austin Browning walked in the first inning. The ball's inside. It was stranded on a strikeout. Sowards had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, both on curveball looking. Looked like he tried to throw that in there. Curveball as well, and that didn't break. Three balls, 1 strike to the Panther catcher. That's inside, and Ridenauer starts the inning off with a walk. Devin Stevens, no relation. The right fielder for Chesapeake, stepping into the box. So Ridenauer will run for himself out there. Bunt. Stevens squares the bunt, gets the bat on the ball, but gonna drop the head of the bat, and it slipped over to the backstop on the bunt. Kind of changed the angle of the bat right there, and got good wood on it. It's just aimed the wrong direction. Looked like he was trying to bunt it towards first base. Sowards checking Ridenauer there. Panthers trying to get something going. We got a 1-0 score. Fairland able to plate 1 run in the first inning. Panthers trying to get something started here in the top of the second. There's a bunt. Stevens made a nice bunt. I don't know if it almost hit him in the head. He had to put the bat in the way, but it did turn out and make a nice bunt, as he is credited with the sacrifice for the first out. Bring up A.J. Literal. The third baseman for the Peak. There's that curveball. Sowards has been throwing the curveball over the plate, starting it inside of the right-handed hitter and letting it just float right back across the middle of the plate. Panthers don't seem to like to swing at that one. There it is again. Tried to swing at that one. That's a nasty little pitch right there. No balls and 2 strikes. Curveball looks a little more effective this inning than the last. Howard shakes off the sign. Maybe he wants to throw that curveball again. That's kind of fun. He did. And he got him. It's the 3rd strikeout. The 2nd out of this inning, but that's the 3rd strikeout. Sowards has gotten Panther hitters to go down looking. This is the designated hitter, Matt Dameron, number 8, in for Chesapeake. Number 8 hitter. Got 2 outs in the inning now. Dameron swinging foul ball. Base hit here could tie it up, depending on where it's hit. 2nd inning in a row, Chesapeake has gotten a runner to second base. Strike 2, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. You're in the top of the 2nd. 1-run ball game. Ball's a little high. Sowards try to get Dameron to chase that one. A little bit out of the strike zone. Not a bad pitch. See if he doesn't come back here with this curveball right here. Ooh. And that is strike 3, and that's the end of the 2nd inning. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base, and your score after 1.5. Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. All right, and we're back. Bottom of the 2nd inning. You're watching Armstrong Sports. My name is Jason Stevens. Leading off the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Dragons is number 9, Tucker Adkins. Not sure if you can hear the PA announcer or not. So, senior Austin Browning on the mound for the Panthers. Boop. That'll make you think. Ball 1. Austin threw 15 pitches roughly in the 1st inning. Gave up an unearned run. Not sure of the official scoring, but my scoring was Hunt reached on an error, stole 2 bases, and then was driven in. That's going to be a little number down to third base, and it's going to slide right under the glove of A.J. Literal. That was probably going to be a base hit. We'll give him a base hit on that one. That would have had to have been a excellent play to get him out, because Adkins showed some speed there, and now the shortstop, Garrett Looney, will come to the plate as the Dragons have successfully gotten their leadoff hitter on the base paths again here in the bottom of the 2nd in a 1-0 ball game. Ball foul back, strike 1. Browning from the stretch. Foot off the rubber. Nope, he's got his foot on the rubber there. There's a curveball. Ball. Ooh, safe. Close play. Right now with a nice throw there. Hard to get a guy whenever breaking ball's pitched. That was called a ball. We got 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the 3rd stolen base for the Dragons. Very aggressive on the base paths. Browning from the stretch. Right down the middle. Looney taking all the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Got a runner at second base. 1-run ball game. Dragons 1, Panthers 0. Bottom of the 2nd. There's a little curveball. Ooh, dropped off just a little quick. Hard to lay off that pitch with 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There it is again. Check swing. Browning tries to get it. That's going to be a number right in the and that's going to be a base hit for Looney. Looks like a line drive in the scorebook. And the Dragons have the first 2 batters on here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. The pitcher Riley Sowards up to plate. Nice at bat by Looney there. It's down the count. Put the bat on the ball and put it in play. Sometimes that's all you have to do. Make the defense make a play. There's a bunt. That's popped up. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be an out, actually. Browning quickly off the mound. My goodness gracious. I saw the ball pop in the air, and by the time I looked down, there was Browning already at the 3rd base line in about 3 steps. I thought Ron James was going to come out of the stands and catch that one, but he was behind the fence over there. All right, we got 1 out. Ball 1. 1 out, 2 men on. Dragons have 3 stolen bases so far. Kind of wonder if Tucker Adkins out there on second base, and Garrett Looney there on first base. If try a double steal here. Yep. 2 balls, no strikes. Brian Defoe, the catcher, at the plate. Panthers like to get a little ground ball here. Double play. The Dragons would like to get a base hit right here. And that ball's high. 3 balls, no strikes. Browning kind of standing up straight a little bit. Hard to get that ball down whenever you land with a straight knee. They're pitching. There he bent over. Oh, but he got it inside. That's 4-pitch walk, and that'll be the bases loaded for the Dragons. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Brennan West, the left fielder. As Ridenauer goes out to take a little conversation with Austin Browning. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd, and the Dragons are threatening. Not sure what that walk-up music was. All right, here we go. Austin Browning will be from the stretch. We got the bases juiced. Number 9 hitter Brennan West up. That ball is low. It's 5 balls in a row. You have to think the Dragons are going to be taking till they get a pitch here. Or until they get a strike. No, West swings. 1 ball, 1 strike. We got 1 out, 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. You're watching Armstrong High School Baseball Sports. Beautiful evening here in Proctorville, Rome Township. That ball's inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Browning with just 1 walk so far, but that was a crucial one. The last batter, as it walked the bases loaded. Reach back, 3 balls, 1 strike. Foul ball. Full count. West not looking for a walk, that's for sure. That's 2 aggressive swings the number 9 hitter and left fielder has taken. Foul ball. We don't have a radar gun on Browning, but that one felt a little fast. A little speed behind that fastball. Big pitch here, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he struck him out. Big strikeout. That's 2 outs. That changes the defensive posture for the Panthers, but it also brings up the number 1 hitter who had a sharp ground ball to shortstop, took a funky hop, and was able to score the first and only run of the game. We got 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Gavin swinging, trying to hit that into the softball field. Pulled his head a little bit. Looks like Browning took a little off of that fastball right there. Curveball. Oh, check swing. A little, just an easy little curveball. That thing breaks a lot. The way that wind's blowing, I think it kind of gets caught in the wind. The way Browning is throwing that pitch gives it just a little extra push. There it is again. This time he started it right at Hunt. Had to swing just to try to knock it foul. I think Hunt knew that was a strike, but knew he couldn't do much with it. All right, we got no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Full of Dragons here in the bottom of the second. There's a foul ball, and that's a strikeout. Two big strikeouts for Austin Browning as the bases were loaded and the Dragons could not score. And that is the end of the second inning with your score. Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. All right, and we are back. Top of the third inning. Chesapeake at Fairland. Levi Best will lead off the top of the third inning for the Chesapeake Panthers. The left fielder, left-handed batter. Number 9 hitter for the Peak. Riley Soward's on the mound for the Dragons. Gets the sign, agrees, and the windup. Best fakes a bunt. Soward throws a little high and outside. Tucker Adkins guarding the line there. Best way behind on that pitch. Soward's with 4 strikeouts in 2 innings, 32 pitches. That ball's nubbed right in front of the plate, but it'll be foul. Didn't have a real chance of being fair. Brian Defoe picked it up just in case it didn't hit a rock or anything. Best made contact here, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Soward says, like to throw that curveball, breaking ball with 2 strikes. It'll break into the left-handed hitter. He throws it here. He threw it outside. Oh, he threw it hit the outside corner. Nice pitch. And that is the 5th strikeout for Sowards. All 5 have been called third strike. So the Panthers not real aggressive with 2 strikes as they have looked at 3 called third strikes so far just through the first 3 innings. Trent Earth at the plate with 1 out. He's not looking at that one. That's going to be up in the air. Gavin Hunt has a beat on it, and that is 1 pitch, 2 outs now. Dearth was one of those who struck out the first time up, but he didn't take any chances there, but got out in front of it a little bit and tapped it out to center field. That'll bring Thomas Sense, the second baseman, up for Chesapeake. 2 outs. Since hit a ground ball to the pitcher the last time up, back in the first inning. That one's going to drop over the shortstop's head. Just a little Texas League half swing base hit for Thomas Sense. And the Panthers have their first hit of the ball game. That'll bring Browning, the number 3 hitter, up for the Panthers with 2 outs and a runner on first. Browning batting from the left side. Foul tip, strike 1. The Panthers have had a runner on base each of the 3 innings now. Furthest they've advanced has been second base in the first and the second. Since now on first, Sowards makes sure he stays close. It was more than just a little check back. He was trying to catch Sense not paying attention over there, but he was. The ball's on the hands there, Browning, and that's no balls, 2 strikes to the Panther senior. The last time he had 2 strikes on a left-hander. Sowards threw that outside fastball right across the outside corner. Didn't bring the curveball in. Let's see what he does here. Oh, got him swinging. The ball's missed. Browning's going to try to make a run to first, and he is going to be safe. So count that as a strikeout, but also Browning will get to first base because the catcher has to catch the 3rd strike, and if he doesn't and the batter swings, he has the right to go to first base. So technically the 6th strikeout for Sowards. However, it's not an out, and the Panthers have a little 2-out rally going now as the 4th hitter, the shortstop, Travis Grimm, comes to the plate. Travis struck out looking back in the first in the inning there. Sowards tried to start off with that curveball. Grimm just about ducked his head right into it, got hit, but he didn't. From the stretch. Laid that one in there. It's a big can of corn. Hunt seems to have a beat on it. He keeps backing up and heading over there, and that is the end of the top of the 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 runners left on base, and your score after the top of the 3rd is Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. And we are back. You are watching Armstrong Sports. Chesapeake at Fairland. Bottom of the 3rd inning. We got a 1-run ball game. Leading off the 3rd inning is number 6, Dakota Chapman, the second baseman. Austin Browning on the mound for the Peak. He's thrown 38 pitches through 2 innings. Pitched out of a jam in the last inning as the Dragons had bases loaded with 1 out. Browning was able to strike out the next 2 batters to get out of that jam and keep this ball game close. Starts off with 2 balls here to Chapman to start the 3rd. Three balls, no strikes. The first batter of each inning has gotten on base for Fairland. The first 2 innings. Browning just kind of laid that one in there. Chapman was going to make him throw a strike. So we got 3 balls, 1 strike to the Dragons second baseman. The ball is grounded hard to shortstop. Travis Grimm makes the play. And that's the first out. For the first time in the game, the Panthers retire the first batter of an inning. And that'll bring up number 12, the designated hitter, Alex Rogers. Tell you what, we got a little motley crew here. We got some good music going on here today. I'm not responsible for the music, just enjoying it. Comes Browning from the windup to the number 3 batter. Ball's a little low. Browning trying to stay low, just a little bit too low. That one had to be low as well. Rogers hit the ball hard to left field. Flew out first time up. Swung at that one. 3 balls, 1 strike. It was a check swing. That ball's outside. It's the second walk of the game, given up by Browning, and that'll put a runner on first base for Kyle Rankin, first baseman. Kyle saw 3 pitches and struck out first time up. Browning had him on curveballs. It didn't throw him a fastball. It's Browning throws over to Marshall. Keeping Rogers close over there. Like I was saying, 3 straight curveballs to Rankin the last time up. Starts him off with a fastball this time, a little high. Ridenauer back out to first. Trying to keep Rogers close. We got a 1-run ball game here. High school baseball, they play 7 innings. And we're in the bottom of the 3rd. The cleanup hitter for the Dragons at the plate, senior Kyle Rankin, first baseman. It's another fastball. That's nubbed off the front end of the bat. Ridenauer pick it up barehanded, makes the throw and gets the out. Effectively a bunt. Not what Rankin had in mind, but that does advance the runner, but there are 2 outs for Tucker Adkins. Tucker Adkins with a base hit in the 2nd inning. As we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Adkins, the number 5 hitter, the 3rd baseman. Browning will pitch from the stretch again. There's a curveball. Graham and Sense holding. Well, I thought it hit him. Guess it didn't. It didn't break. That was a curveball that didn't break. Anyway, I was saying Graham and Sense trying to hold Rogers close to second base just in case there is a base hit. He doesn't have a chance to score. Well, they're trying to pick him off. Why not? Only problem with that is you can throw a run in if you're not careful. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd. Dragons lead 1-0. Ball's going to be a little low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Like I said, Adkins had a base hit leading off the 2nd. Made it all the way to 3rd base, but was not able to score last inning. The ball's fouled back. And we got a tutor. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ball's popped up. Going to be in and out of foul play. And way to put 2 hands on the ball is the 3rd baseman A.J. Littoral out there with the nice fundamental out. And that is the end of the third inning. Your score, Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. All right, welcome back. You're watching Armstrong Sports. This is high school baseball. Chesapeake High School at Fairland High School. The Panthers and the Dragons. We are here in Rome Township on a beautiful 81-degree afternoon. And we're in the top of the fourth inning as the Dragons lead the Panthers 1-0. My name is Jason Stevens. We are watching Jonah Ridenauer at the plate as he swings at the first pitch from Riley Sowers. That's going to be trouble. Did he catch it? Nope, that's a base hit. All right, there could be some controversy there. I think Fairland thought that he caught it. Oh yeah, we got some controversy here. All right, he did catch it. First pitch out. Ridenauer was selling it. All right, that brings up Devin Stevens, who had a sacrifice bunt the last time up. Move the runner over. Sowers throws in behind him. You'll have that. Riley has thrown about 45 pitches so far. Just pitch count, both pitchers' pitch counts relatively decent. That ball's right down the middle. That's a base hit, stroked. Nice piece of hitting there by Devin Stevens. No relation. Spells it with a V. Mine's a PH. And that's the second hit for the Peak here this afternoon. As we get A.J. Littoral up. Getting the signs from third base coach. We got one out here, so. AJ had a strikeout looking back in the second inning. Whoa. Well, that's two batters in a row that Sowers has had a little trouble bringing that ball back around to the plate. There's a bunt, sort of. Just a little high. See, the bunt's still on. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 runner on first base. Riley Sowers from the stretch. Ball's outside. Got a nice crowd out here today. The sun is kind of right there in the field. It's out there in right field, the sun is. Little squares to bunt, pops it up again. Kind of poke the bat at the ball instead of trying to catch it. Almost just have to catch it like you'd have a mitt on. That's easier said than done. You got a ball coming at you 80 miles an hour. Your knuckles exposed. Mouth exposed. Everything, you're just wide open there for a bunt. Looks a lot easier than it is. Little takes a full swing at that one. Same basic result as the bunts with a pop-up. Foul. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Panthers looking to get a run across the plate, trailing 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. The rival Fairland Dragons. The purple and the green out here today. There's a little curve ball. Took something off of that. The trail swung and missed for 2 outs. Matt Dameron coming to the plate, the designated hitter. 2 outs now. Here in the top of the 4th. Ball outside. Oh, yeah. One ball, one strike. That's a ball low. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs. Devin Stevens over there had a single earlier in the inning over there on first base. Sowers from the stretch. That ball's hung up in the air. That's going to be a pop-up. Looks like shortstop Looney is under it. And that is the end of the 4th inning with your score still Fairland 1, Chesapeake 0. All right, we are back here in Rome Township on the campus of Fairland High School. The Fairland Dragons are playing the Chesapeake Panthers in a little game of baseball here this afternoon. It's 80 degrees. Spring is in the air, and it's the bottom of the 4th. Austin Browning on the mound for the Chesapeake Panthers. Garrett Looney in the batter's box. For the Dragons, you can hear the Eagles playing over there in the softball field, taking it easy. I'm Jason Stevens, sitting up here in the press box all by myself, watching this ball game along with you, and that's 2 strikes. Well, the scoreboard's getting a little hairy out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count to the Dragon shortstop. We got a base hit. Ooh, that was a nice little curveball there. Looney was expecting it. That ball was coming straight in, and boy, it dove to the outside corner pretty nice. It is again. This time Browning started on the inside. Right fielder is there. That is Devin Stevens with the putout for the first out here in the 4th inning. Riley Sowers, the pitcher, will come to the plate. Austin Browning has started the game. He had 54 pitches after the end of the 3rd, roughly, by my count, maybe a little more. His speed is still there. I don't know what's going on with the scoreboard out there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's 11-11 with 1 out. That's weird. There it goes. Oop. Looks like a little radio trouble. Ball 2. Looks like the battery's dying. All right, Browning kind of eased up on those last 2, trying to place the ball in there, trying to get a strike. Just didn't have enough gas to get all the way in. 3 balls, no strikes. Lined up in the pitch. There's a strike. Pitcher versus pitcher here. Sowers tried to lay down a bunt back in the 2nd inning, but popped it up, and Austin Browning was able to catch it. Popped it up in the air. That ball was actually fouled along the third base line, but he popped it up. Browning so fast, he was there and was able to catch it easy. All right, full count. Ooh, that's right back up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So Riley Sowards is on base for the first time today. That'll bring up the catcher, Brian Defoe, for the Dragons, who walked back in the second inning on 4 straight pitches. Browning from the stretch, keeping Sowards honest over there at first base. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball's in the dirt. Sowards is going. Nice throw by Ridenauer. Ooh! Almost. Nice play. And Sowards is safe by a half step. Nice speed by the pitcher. Ball was a little bit in the dirt. I think that was a ball. Let's count. I think we got 1 ball, no strikes. That was laid up in there. Levi Best under it. Uh-oh, he misread it. Totally couldn't see it. Got lost in the clouds. That had to be an error. The sky is kind of cloudy, and the sun is there in right field. So the left fielder there wasn't looking into the sun, but with the sun and the clouds, ball being, it's the 4th inning, that ball is not quite as bright as it was back at the beginning of the game. It's a little brown. Not as easy to see. Either way, it puts runner at first and second. Sowards couldn't advance on that one because it looked like Best was going to come down with it. He did a nice job of faking out to keep the runner there, but I don't think he had any idea where that baseball was. West with a little check swing there. Left fielder for the Dragons. Browning looking for a new ball. It was a little bit brighter. Maybe the seams are a little bit stronger on it. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dragons have runners on the bases, first and second base. They've had runners on every inning, but have only been able to score 1 run so far. That ball's outside. Sowards and Defoe will both advance on that wild pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. To the number 9 hitter, the left fielder, Brennan West for the Dragons. Base hit here could get a couple in. That ball's in the dirt again. Browning kind of, as Ridenauer goes out to talk, Browning kind of favoring that hand a little bit. I don't know if he's got a blister there on his finger or his finger bothered him a little bit. Both those pitches looked like he had gripped the ball a little too tight. Held on to it just a little bit long, and both of them were low and outside. West came to the plate with 3 runners on base the last time up. This time he's got 2 runners in scoring position. And then Browning's done the same thing again. Gotta wonder if he got an issue there with that hand. As Justin Davis, coach for the Panthers, is going to go out and check and see as the top of the order coming up for the Dragons. The Dragons rallying again. Let's see what Davis does here. Let's see Browning at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's at 71 pitches so far. So probably not an issue there. Not sure how much Austin has pitched in the last few days. But Gavin Hunt, the center fielder and leadoff batter for the Dragons, comes to the plate for the second time today with the bases loaded, this time with 1 out. That ball's short. Sowers is going to score on another wild pitch. The other 2 runners advance as well, so that'll put runners at second and third with 1 out. 1 run in, and that makes your score 2-0 Fairland. We're here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gavin squares to bunt. Ball low. Browning having a little trouble finding the strike zone here the last 2 batters. From the stretch. Pickoff move. It's not a balk. When throwing to third base, you don't have to throw it. You can fake it to third. You don't have to step off. You can step off any way you want to. That ain't a balk. Now, if he would have done that to first base, it would have been a balk. But you're allowed to fake to throw to third. That's not a problem. We got 3 balls and a strike, I think. There's a ground ball. It's going to be the shortstop. Travis Grimm is there. Makes the pick. Makes the play. Gets an out. It's the second out, but a run will score. Makes your score 3-0 Fairland. And that brings up Dakota Chapman, the second baseman, who has grounded out to the shortstop twice today. Dakota's the number 2 batter. Browning from the stretch. Brennan West standing out there on third base as the Dragons have scored 2 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning, making it 3-0. Looking to get another one here. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is about the time of game you could use a hot dog, maybe some nachos, a cold drink. Foul ball. I don't smell anybody grilling though. All right, we got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. A runner standing out there on third base. Dakota Chapman at the plate. Austin Browning pitching. A little high. Full count. And he walked him. Chapman gets on base for the first time today. That'll bring up the 3rd hitter for the Dragons, the number 3 hitter, the designated hitter, Alex Rogers. Rogers has flipped flew out to left field and drew a walk back in the third, flew out to left in the first inning. Browning throws a strike. Dragons already plated 2 runs here this inning. It's a foul ball. All right, we got 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chapman advanced, by the way. He's out there on second base, so a base hit here could plate 2 more runs for the Dragons. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Oh, we got a softball in the field. Foul ball from the softball field over there. All right. There's a softball mom over there ready to retrieve the... Oops. Retrieve it. Oh, that was short. Almost dropped that thing across the plate. That's fouled. Got a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Browning trying to get this last out, trying to keep the game manageable. 3-run game is manageable. Ball's fouled off again. 5-run game, any run game really just about as manageable in high school, but Dragons leading the OVC. That's ball 4. It's 2 walks in a row. That's the 3rd walk this inning for Austin Browning. He only had 2 the entire game before this inning, so probably getting a little tired as the cleanup hitter will come to the plate, Kyle Rankin, first baseman. Struck out in the first inning. Hit it off the end of the bat in the 3rd inning. Was thrown out by Ridenauer. Swung at the first pitch the last time up, so that's the first ball Kyle has taken. Looking to break this game wide open. A base hit here. That's a strike. He swung at that one. That's the same pitch that Browning got him on back in the first inning. On all 3 pitches. See if he doesn't see it here again. A little curveball. There it is. Yes, indeed. And that is the 3rd out as the Dragons are able to score 2 runs on 1 hit, 3 walks, and an error. And the Dragons lead after 4, 3-0. All right, we are in the top of the 5th inning, and you are watching Armstrong Sports. At the plate, leading off the 5th for the Chesapeake Panthers is the left fielder, Levi Best. Squares to bunt. Riley Soward's on the mound for the Dragons. started the game. He's got 54 pitches in. There's the bunt again, throws Sowards off a little bit. It's 2 straight balls. Sowards, that last inning, the Dragons were batting for a long time. Not sure exactly the time, felt like forever. And so Sowards still not quite loose. Likes the sign he gets from the windup. Best squares again. 3 straight balls. You have to bet Best will be taking here. He's the number 9 hitter for the Panthers. Trying to get the peak back into this one. Best squared around again. No intention whatsoever to swing at it. And he draws a walk on 4 pitches. That brings up the top of the order for the Peak. The center fielder, Trent Dirth, who struck out in the first, flew out to center in the second. I'm sorry, in the third inning, he flew out to center field. Hit the ball square, but not real hard. Kind of floated up in the wind, kind of held it up in the air. Best on the steal. He's safe. Didn't get the tag there, didn't get the tag. The ball beat him, but it was on the wrong side of the base. That's going to be a stolen base. Michael Hill comes out, take a look at it. All right. Coach Hill not agreeing with the call there. Now the Peak has a runner in scoring position. One ball, no strikes. Best on the first pitch. Earth taking there. Oh, that's a big high hopper. Wow, that was a weird bounce. Looney grabbed it, but that thing had some funky spin on it. That'll put Dirth on first base. That's got to be scored an error. But he hit that ball right down into the dirt instead of the grass. It landed in the dirt. You can see the dent in the dirt. Man, he hit it straight down in there, and that ball just had some real weird spin. Then it hit again. It only bounced twice, I think, before Looney caught it. And it just spun right out of his glove. Levi Best there let the ball get behind him and then took off to third, so that puts runners at the corners for the Peak with no outs as the second baseman Thomas Sense comes up. Had a base hit back in the third inning. He stuck his bat out with a half swing and knocked it over the second baseman's head and in front of the right fielder to score. I'm sorry, to get a base hit. I'm sorry. Back in the second. This Dirth will make it easily down to second base. That puts runners at first, I'm sorry, at second and third, as the Panthers have their first time a runner has made it to third base for Chesapeake today, is Levi Best over there. We've got another softball in the field. And now the softball. Oh, that was a nice throw. Landed it between the fences. So he's done that before. All right, here we go. 2 balls, 3 balls, no strikes. Is that right? Austin Browning on deck for the Panthers. And that's a walk. The second walk of the inning for Sowards. Like I said, the last inning the Dragons were up to bat for a long time, including Sowards, who actually ran the bases and scored a run and stole a base and then advanced on a wild pitch, so he had to exert himself there in the bottom of the fourth inning, and here in the top of the fifth as he's come to the mound. The first three Chesapeake Panthers have reached base, and the senior Austin Browning comes to the plate with runners out there in scoring position. Sowards had only walked one batter, and that was way back in the first inning. This time he's walked two here in the in the fifth. And is having a hard time finding the strike zone. First real inning he struggled. Sowards has 7 strikeouts on the day. Coach Hill comes out to the mound to kind of settle him down a little bit. He's sitting at 67 pitches, so again, I'm not sure how much Riley's pitched in the last few days, but seems a little more stiffness and just kind of lost his rhythm that he had there in the first 4 innings. Here in the top of the fifth, the Panthers are threatening with some speed on the base pass. You got your number 9 batter there on setting at third, leadoff hitter Trent Durth there at second, and Thomas Sense, the second baseman, at first. And here comes the pitch. That ball's high. That's 7 straight balls thrown by Sowards. Panthers looking for a big hit here. I'd have to say that Browning has the green light if he sees what he wants. But he is taken. Not bad. All right, now you have to think Browning is swinging anywhere close here. No outs, bases loaded for the Panthers. That's ball 4. The third walk of the inning for Sowards, and that will bring in the first run for the Chesapeake Panthers. Also brings in Coach Hill as he will call for a relief pitcher. We got a little switcheroo going here as Riley Sowards looks like he will slide to third base. Looks like Tucker Adkins will go out to right field. Let's see who is that coming in to pitch. Looks like number 12. I don't have the roster written down. I got it on my phone. It's Alex Rogers, the designated hitter. Will be coming into pitch. I'm not sure what this will mean for the lineup. Riley Sowards finished with 70 pitches. 1 run. That one doesn't look like it's earned because of the error, but the other 2 might be if the Panthers are able to score anymore. We'll leave 3 runners on base, so we'll see how that works out. Rogers comes in with no outs here in the 5th inning, so I mean Sowards actually pitched 4 complete innings. The number 4 cleanup hitter will be the batter. Travis Grimm, the shortstop for the Panthers, stepping in. Looking for a base hit here as the Dragons are in tight on the corners. Double play depth for shortstop and second base. Rogers gets a strike. On the outside corner. Hit the letters. As Grimm steps in. From the windup, Rogers tried to throw a curveball there. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Timeout. Third base coach calls timeout. Looking for a balk call, maybe. Not sure. Rogers coming from the windup. I think it's kind of hard to balk. That ball's laid in there on the inside corner. It doesn't count when that happens. Hits off the top of the backstop. Fell right in the catcher's mitt. That's just a neat strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Rogers, the relief pitcher, in. Ground ball. He's safe. The catcher did not have his foot on the plate. He did not touch the plate. I was sitting here looking at it. That was a great call by the umpire. He did not have his foot on the plate. Missed it by about 2 inches. And that means that is a run for Chesapeake. Wow. A great play by Sowards there. Heads up play. And still no outs. That's to be a fielder's choice. And the bases are still loaded as Ridenauer, who is 0 for 1, steps to the plate. Flew out to right field the last time, swung at the first pitch then. Took a walk, or got a walk to lead off the second. Ended up at second base, and nothing else happened in that inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Ridenauer took a strike there on the low outside corner. Rogers with the windup and the pitch. That's going to drop in for a base hit. No, Gavin, no, it is. You might get the force out. Big base hit there by Ridenauer, and that gets 1 run in, and that ties the ball game. 3-3. Devin Stevens, who hit a looping line drive over the shortstop back in the 4th inning for a base hit, steps into the plate. No outs, bases loaded. Alex Rogers in, pitching for the Dragons. Gets that call on the outside corner there. Third batter that Rogers has faced. The 7th batter of the inning for Chesapeake. Still no outs. This inning has been totally different than the rest of the game, than the other 4 innings were for the Panthers at the plate and the Dragons in the field. But that's high school baseball. Stevens out in front of it a little bit there. Again, no relation. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Bases are loaded. Browning on third, Grimm on second, Ridenauer on first. Rogers from the windup. Tried to break off a curveball, not able to bring it down. That ball's right down the middle. That's a ground ball. Dragons trying to turn 2. Not going to be able to do it. Browning's able to score. They do get the force out at second, as Stevens gets credited with a fielder's choice and an RBI. A.J. Luttrell comes to the plate. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner. Grayson Walsh number 5 going to step in and run for Devin Stevens, Grayson, a freshman. The Panthers have scored 4 runs. 3 of those runs were walks that have turned into runs, as A.J. Luttrell will be in, the third baseman. For Chesapeake, Alex Rogers on the mound from the stretch this time. First time he's pitched from the stretch as the bases have been loaded. Walsh goes to third, or goes to second. The Panthers find themselves with runners at second and third, a situation the Dragons have found themselves in a lot tonight, but have not been able to capitalize other than the 3 runs. The ball's right down the middle. That's strike 2. Foul tipped. No balls, 2 strikes. Rogers back to the windup, it looks like, with runners on second and third. Takes a look. Can't quite get a hold of that curveball yet. His arm's still a little lively where he's not pitched yet this inning. Or I'm sorry, yet this game. It's his 4th batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. I'm sorry, 1 out. Gee whiz. Pay attention. 1 out. Just 1 out. Ridenauer was the only force out there at second. Foul ball. Ball's inside the corner. Fouled out of play into the backyards over there along Montroso Street. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third. 4 runs in already for the Panthers here in the 5th inning. Infield has moved up for the Dragons, trying to cut down that run. All 4 infielders playing at the edge of the grass, which is good if there's a ground ball right at you. If there's a little flare that would normally be caught, sometimes can be bad, but we'll find out. Oh, that was strike 3 right down the middle. It's the 3rd time that literal struck out today. That ball was right down the middle on the inside corner maybe. Matt Dameron, who popped up to the shortstop the last time up, struck out in the 2nd inning, comes to the plate with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Panthers trying to get a couple more runs across the plate. Dragons trying to get out of this inning. There's a ground ball to Looney. Looney will field, step, throw, and that's the end of the inning. As the Panthers bat around here in the top of the 5th. 4 runs on, looks like 1 hit, 2 errors, 3 walks. Panthers leave 2 on, and your score after the top of the 5th, Chesapeake 4, Fairland 3. All right, we are back. You are watching Armstrong Sports. My name is Jason Stevens, and you are watching the Chesapeake Panthers at the Fairland Dragons high school baseball. Leading off the bottom of the 5th is Tucker Adkins, who was originally the 3rd baseman, and now I believe he's the right fielder. In to pitch for the Panthers is number 2, Travis Grimm. Let's see where everybody switched to. Let's see who's playing shortstop. Looks like Trent Dirth is at shortstop, and Austin Browning is at center field. Austin Browning threw 92 pitches, gave up 3 runs. Had a really rough 4th inning. That 4th inning, bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th, must have taken an hour. This Grimm is started off 0-2 to Adkins, and Adkins has worked the count 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nope, off his noggin. He took his helmet off. So technically, that is a hit by pitch. And the leadoff runner is on here in a 1-run ball game. Garrett Looney, the shortstop, coming to the plate for the Dragons. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Blowing in straight in here in the press box from home plate or from center field home. That was ball low. Grimm found the strike zone on the first 2 pitches and has thrown good grief 5 straight pitches that have been called a ball. One of them hit the right fielder in the noggin. Two balls, no strikes. As the Chesapeake sophomore looks for the sign, check the runner. See the Rome Church of Christ is out there. Got some hot dogs. I'm starting to smell them now. I think they're grilling hot dogs out there. They always have a tailgate during the Fairland, for the Fairland Chesapeake ball game in the spring for the kids after the game, and parents and announcers. That ball's laid right in there. That's going to be fouled. That's going to hit the parking lot. No cars. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. We're here in the top of the 5th of a pretty good ball game. Chesapeake 4, Fairland 3. We're playing here at Rome Township on the campus of Fairland High School. The site of Roger Snyder Field. Been many a ball game played on this field, this piece of ground right here, over the years. Looks pretty good. Real good shape. The ball's outside. Really close. As Grimm runs his second batter in a row to a 3-2 count. I'm sure Coach Davis is looking for 3 innings out of him. At this rate, it'll be a lot of pitches to do that. There's a strike. That was on the right on the outside corner. For the first out, that will bring up Riley Sowards, number 10. And there, Sowards is able to hit it up through there for a base hit. Right past the third baseman. Hot shot there. Sowards swinging at the first pitch. Brings up the catcher, Brian Defoe, as the Dragons are threatening here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 ball, no strikes. Got a runner on first and second. Atkins out there on second base. Howard's on first, and that ball's struck, and that is in the gap. Browning has got a beat on it. That's not going to get it. Browning comes in, holds it, looks the runner back, gets into the cutoff, and the bases are loaded for the Dragons here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 base hits in a row for Fairland. By the 7 and 8 hitter, that brings up the number 9 hitter, Brennan West, the left fielder. Both those balls hit pretty hard. That ball was placed perfectly between the right fielder. I'm sorry, the right fielder and the center fielder. The base is loaded, 1 out. Brennan struck out in the second and walked in the 4th. Stranded at third base to end the inning last inning. The Dragons have threatened just about every inning. But only managed to score 3 runs so far. They've had 7 left on base for the game. Five hits. Panthers have 2 errors. Ridenour goes out and talks with Graham a little bit. Graham back in the stretch with the bases loaded. Brennan West looking to get a couple of RBIs here. Ball easy thrown. Right over the plate. Had to think West was taken till he got a strike there. Number 9 hitter. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Swing and a miss. Ball's smacked in the outfield. It's going to be enough to get a run in. Going to be a play at the plate. The ball's way up the line. It's not going to happen. As a sacrifice fly for Brennan West brings in Tucker Atkins, and then we've got a tie ball game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Dragons, Gavin Hunt stepping to the plate, leadoff hitter. Grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th. Struck out in the 2nd. Reached on an error in the 1st and scored the 1st run of the ball game. So out in front of that one. As far as the OVC standings as of this game, Fairland's at 10-1, Chesapeake 4-7. But you know, when Fairland and Chesapeake play, you just never know. You throw those records out. But one thing of significance, Rock Hill has just informed has lost, so they've dropped to 9-3. So Fairland can clinch a share of the OVC with a win tonight at this game. Hunt reaches out. Oh! Just taps it right over the second baseman's head, and that's going to bring in 2 runs. Big base hit for the center fielder for the Dragons. Plates 2 runs and gives Fairland the lead. Big 2-out base hit. Brings up Dakota Chapman, who's grounded to shortstop twice. Walked the last inning. And the Panthers scored 4 in the top of the 5th inning. The Dragons have answered with 3 so far here in the bottom of the 5th. Got a runner on first. That's Gavin Hunt, the leadoff runner, who is fast. Stole 2 bases in the first inning when he reached base. Nice ball game today. It's been fun to watch. Hope you've enjoyed it. You're watching Armstrong Sports, high school baseball. Ooh. Gavin's going to have to slide and get that uniform a little more dirty. Already going to have to wash the pants pretty good, Gavin. You have to go ahead and slide in there. Hunt almost sure he's going to run here, and Grimm knows it. Everybody watching this ball game knows that Hunt's going to try to steal. With about a 12-foot lead out there. Oh. All these kids are having a good time right here. We got a 6-4 ball game in the 5th inning, but we're having fun out here on first base. Grimm yet to throw the ball to Chapman. There goes Hunt. Hunt with the steal. Oh, he's there. Oh, it hit him right in the belly. Ball was there before he was. He didn't even slide. It's the 3rd stolen base for Gavin Hunt today. It was a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Is now Chapman looking for a base hit, trying to get Hunt in. Who knows, Hunt's liable to score, or liable to try to steal 3rd as well. Since the second baseman trying to keep him close. Grimm takes a look, throws a little curve ball for a ball. The wind is picking up, blowing that dirt right into the press box. Ugh. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Swinging, there's 2 outs. Right now with the throw, he's out. And that's the 3rd out. Gavin Hunt just kept on coming. And the Dragons score 3 on 2 base hits, make that 3 base hits, leave 1 runner on. And after 5 full innings, your score, Chesapeake 4, Fairland 6. And welcome back to Roger Snyder Field here at the campus of Fairland High School. You are watching Armstrong Sports High School Baseball. Chesapeake at Fairland. Top of the 6th inning. Levi Best at the plate. Started off the top of the 5th, where the Panthers scored 4 runs. Took the lead, and then promptly the Dragons scored 3 in the bottom of the 5th to take the lead back. Best struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Scored a run last inning that took forever. Squares to bunt. It's called strike. Hope you're all enjoying this ball game. It is a beautiful evening here in Rome Township. The breeze is starting to pick up in the last 15 to 20 minutes, blowing directly in from center field. Up here in the press box, not sure what it's like there on the playing surface. I'm about 10, 12 feet. Watch out. Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'm about, 12, 15 feet above the playing surface, so any ball up in the air isn't going to go very far today because of that breeze once it gets up in the air. It's a little stronger than a breeze, not quite windy, but it's not breezy. That ball's slapped to 3rd. That's Garrett Looney over there on 3rd base. He slipped over there. He and Sowards will switch places. And that is a 5-3 ground out. As the Panthers are back to the top of the order, as Trent Dirth, the center fielder, steps into the plate, hit a hard ground ball to the shortstop last time up, pounded it into the dirt, into the brick dust there, and it had a funky spin. When it hit Looney's glove, it kind of spun out of there. Rogers trying to throw that curveball. Not been able to get it over the plate yet. Starting pitcher for the Dragons was Riley Sowards. He pitched 4 complete innings, 70 pitches. All 4 of the runs scored were his batters. A couple of those were unearned runs, possibly. Yeah, at least one was. And but anyway, the Dragons have taken the lead after Rogers came in, so he is the pitcher of record for Fairland. Rogers threw 19 pitches in the 5th inning when he came in. Just thrown half a dozen so far this inning. That ball's right up the middle. Sowards is going to take a shot at it. Dirth is going to be able to beat it to first. Trent can fly. That's an infield base hit. Nice play by Sowards. Thomas Sense to the plate. Second baseman. He's got a base hit, a walk, scored a run. 1 for 2 on the day. Leadoff batter is on for the Panthers. Rogers throws it over to Kyle Rankin, the first baseman. Dirth hit and run. That ball, it's a gapper. Gavin, it's over his head. Thought Gavin Hunt was going to catch it. Sense slides into second with a double. It looked like Gavin was going to get a bead on it, so Dirth waited, and then it went over his head, but he didn't have quite enough time to make it all the way to home. But a big 2-base hit by Thomas Sense. And the Panthers are looking to score. Base hit here could tie it up. Austin Browning. Austin walked last time up. Walked the first time in the first inning and struck out in the third. So he's got 2 walks, a run scored. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Ball's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, 1 strike. Ball's in the dirt. Dirth goes back to third. Nice stop there by the catcher for the Dragons. Brian Defoe getting his uniform a little dirty. Getting the ball down there. 3 balls, 1 strike. Travis Grimm is on deck. Rogers with some heat there. Browning with a good swing, kind of pulled out a little bit. Full count. Big at bat right here for both teams. Foul ball. Ball 4. And the bases are loaded with 1 out. And the cleanup hitter is up. It'll be Travis Graham. Rogers tried to get that curveball to drop. He's had a real trouble with the curveballs. Fastball's been pretty good. Just got to give it up a couple of hits here this inning. Ball's a little low. 2 balls, no strikes. Graham, who is the pitcher of record now for the Peak, trying to help himself out here. The ball's just a little bit behind it. Almost right on it is Graham. Rogers from the windup. Foul ball. Out of play. Ball's in the dirt. Nice stop by Defoe. We got a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. Fairland, Chesapeake, top of the 6th. That ball's in there. That's a base hit. Travis Graham rips it between the third and shortstop, off the chin of the left fielder. We're going to have a tie ball game as Thomas Sent scores from second, and it is 6-6. Big base hit by Travis Graham. He knocked the snot out of that ball. As Trent Durth and Thomas Sent both score, and we got a tie ball game again. Jonah Ridenauer comes to the plate. Big base hit last inning as Browning advances to second. Ridenauer flew out to right field in the 4th and walked in the 2nd. Hope you're enjoying this ball game. Oh my goodness, don't look at the scoreboard. It is 6-6 in the 6th inning. That is not good. I hope somebody scores a run soon. I don't like the looks of that. You see that, Doug? Jonah Ridenauer. The plate slaps the ball out there. It's foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Just like the worst scoreboard you could have. But it's a good ball game. And somebody's car alarm. And Ridenauer turns on 1, gets to third base. It's his third. We'll get a double play. Yes. Nice play by Garrett Looney out there on third base. Unassisted. Well, I guess he did assist it. It was a 6-3 double play. But the Chesapeake Panthers get 2 in the top of the 6th to tie this ball game as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Chesapeake 6, Fairland 6. All right, we are back. You're watching Armstrong Sports. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. We play 7 innings of high school baseball, and that's what you're watching. Chesapeake at Fairland here at Roger Snyder Field. It's been a heck of a ball game. I hope you've enjoyed it. My name's Jason Stevens. We're watching this game together. That's Travis Graham on the mound for the Peak. That's Alex Rogers at the plate for the Dragons. Alex has walked twice and flown out to the left fielder. Started out as a designated hitter. Now he's the pitcher. Ball's a little high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dragons have 6 runs on 6 hits. They've left 8 on base. They have 2 errors. The Panthers also have 6 runs on 6 hits, and they have left 8 on base. That ball is slapped to second base. It's Thomas Sense. Nice little play there by the second baseman. And that's 1 out here in the 6th inning. That brings up big Kyle Rankin. Kyle, this is his first at-bat against Travis Grimm. Faced Austin Browning 3 times, struck out twice, hit a number off the end of the bat, and was retired there. Grimm with the windup and the pitch. Ball's right down the middle. Browning had that curveball working against Rankin. Grimm hasn't shown he could throw the curveball with the same quite break. Fastball there. There's a curveball. Rankin out in front of that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Broke a little bit, not quite the same vigor as Austin did. Rankin is very capable with one swing of the bat of breaking this tie. Ooh, that ball was up. It was out of the zone. Kyle was ready to hit it. Right now with timeout over with Graham. They got Rankin where they want. They don't really want to give him a pitch he can handle right here. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We play 7 in high school, so any run scored here by the Dragons puts them ahead with only 3 outs left for the Panthers. That ball slapped over the second baseman's head. That's a base hit. Could be more as it's not able to cut off. Rankin's going to end up at second with a stand-up double. 1 out here in the 6th inning. That's a big base hit for the senior first baseman. Big double. That puts him out there on second with the number 5 hitter, Tucker Adkins. I believe he's out there in right field right now. That ball was hit hard by Rankin on an 0-2 pitch. I'm not so sure that was even a strike that Kyle swung at, but he was ready to get the ball and hit it a little bit outside. He stuck his bat out there and knocked it good. 1 ball, no strikes. Air's starting to cool off just a little bit. The sun is starting to get a little lower. There's a strike. Still about 80 degrees. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. One ball, 2 strikes. We got a tie ball game. We're here in the 6th inning. You're watching Chesapeake and Fairland High School baseball on Armstrong Sports. Oh, there was that little breaking ball from Grimm. I didn't think he swung. He snapped off pretty good. He wanted to swing. All right, a base hit here puts the Dragons ahead. More than likely, is Rankin out on second. That ball's fouled and caught by Ridenauer. Nice play. And that is strike 3. This is Grimm's 3rd strikeout in 2 innings. It brings to the plate the 3rd baseman now, Garrett Looney. Looney turned the double play there at 3rd base with the force out. Last inning to end the rally by the Panthers. See if he can do it with a bat here. Ball's right up the middle. Sense will get this at 2nd base. Can he make the throw? And he is out. And we have got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. In the 7th inning we go. We got tied, Chesapeake and Fairland, 6-6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Armstrong Sports. I'm Jason Stevens watching this baseball game with you. Chesapeake at Fairland. We are in the top of the 7th inning. We got a tie ball game, 6-6. We've had a lot of scoring here in the last couple of innings as the Panthers will be coming to bat. Devin Stevens, the right fielder, will be leading off the inning, and Alex Rogers will be pitching for the Dragons. The Dragons held a 1-0 lead for a couple of innings, then scored a couple more, led 3-0. The Panthers scored 4 in the 5th to take the lead. Dragons came back, scored 3 in the 5th to take the lead themselves, and then the Panthers scored 2 in the 6th to tie the game. That ball's fouled off. And the Panthers scored 2 in the 6th. Dragons weren't able to plate any runs. They got a big double by Kyle Rankin, but he was stranded there at second. And unable to score, so now we've got 1 ball, 1 strike to Mr. Devin Stevens. No relation. Ball's high. Rogers came in the 5th inning, got all 3 outs there, so he has pitched 2 innings. Riley Sowers started the game for the Dragons. Ball's flied out. Gavin Hunt. It's 1 out. A.J. Luttrell up to the plate. Right on the inside corner, Rogers bringing it into Luttrell. Luttrell has struck out 3 times today, trying to avoid the golden sombrero. All right, we got 2 balls, 1 strike. Oh, Luttrell turned on that one. Might have hit that to Demarius Street. Definitely cleared Montroso. Maybe got it up to Abigail. Anyway, here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a long strike. Rogers with the windup. In the dirt. Got a full count. Panthers trying to get a runner on base. Trying to make something happen here in the top of the 7th. Strike 3. That brings up Matt Dameron. Matt Dameron, the designated hitter. We got 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Top of the 7th. Shadows are starting to get a little longer. It's 7:30 in the evening. Probably not what time it is when you're watching this game, but that's what time it is of the day here in late April. Big game for the Dragons. Not sure if they know or not, but they have a chance to clinch a tie for the OVC today with a win, as Rock Hill lost to South Point earlier today out in Pedro. We're here in Proctorville. Ball's outside. We've got 2 balls, 1 strike. I like it. I could hear Rogers out there grunting a little bit on that. Put a little extra mustard on that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We got a tutor here in the top of the 7th. 6-6 ball game. Matt Dameron at the plate. Alex Rogers on the mound. Throw a little curveball. That one broke as well as any of them that he's thrown so far. Not a bad pitch there. Tried to get Dameron to chase it. Dameron grounded out the shortstop last time. Got him on that one. Strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Panthers in the top of the 7th, and we go to the final inning, the bottom of the 7th. Fairland Dragons coming up. Riley Sowards, Brian Defoe, Brennan West, 7, 8, 9 hitters up for the Dragons. All right, welcome back. We are here in the bottom of the 7th inning. High school baseball, Armstrong Sports. My name is Jason Stevens. You're watching a great ball game between the Fairland Dragons and the Chesapeake Panthers here at Roger Snyder Field. Leading off the bottom of the 7th is Riley Sowards, who was the starting pitcher for the Dragons, now moved to shortstop. Travis Grimm, who was the shortstop for the Panthers starting the game, is now in the game pitching for the Panthers. Started Sowards off with the ball high. Had a lot of back and forth. Both teams have had the lead. Both teams have had chances that they haven't taken advantage of, and both have made good defensive plays or good pitches anyway, to stop the other team. So it's been a great baseball game. Had stolen bases, sacrifice bunts, sacrifice flies, base hits, doubles, singles, no triples, no home runs. Home run here and the ball game's over. 1 run by the Dragons right here is all they need. And it'll be time to go eat hot dogs or Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, Catamales. There's a strike. As you can tell, I'm getting hungry. Not sure what Julie's fixed for dinner. Looking forward to it. There's a thing. Just like that, there's 1 out. Sowards with a shot into short center, but it was right at Austin Browning. Hit the ball hard. The Dragons have hit the ball hard today. I think Browning took 1 step to his left and made the catch. So here's the catcher, Brian Defoe, up with 1 out. That first batter is always a key to get out of an inning. That ball's laid in there. This will be shortstop Dearth, makes the throw. Nice stretch and a catch by Marshall, and there are 2 outs. Panthers flashing a little leather here. Grimm just throwing strikes, letting his defense do some work. Now batting the left fielder, Brennan West, who has struck out, walked, and has the sacrifice fly back in the 5th inning. Played the tying run at the time. Ball's outside. Dragons with 7 hits with 6 runs. There's another hard hit ball, but it's a right at him. Thomas Sense makes the play, and just like that, we're going into extra innings. There are no lights here at the field, so we'll see what happens. At the end of 7, Chesapeake 6, Fairland 6. All right, welcome back. We are in extra innings. You're watching Armstrong Sports. We are here at Roger Snyder Field on the campus of Fairland High School. I'm Jason Stevens watching this game with you. Levi Best, the left fielder, leading off the inning for the Peak. squares the punt. Ball's a little outside, called a strike. Temperature starting to drop a little bit, 79 degrees. That ball's fouled off the end of the bat, and Best finds himself down 0-2. Alex Rogers still on the mound. He has thrown 58 pitches. Well, that was his 60th pitch. 58 pitches through 3 innings. Giving up 2 runs that have been counted to him. Trying to get the win here for the Dragons. Foul ball out of play. Best trying to start off this inning. He started off the 5th inning with a walk, stole a base, and that led to 4 runs for the Panthers. Put them in the lead. The ball's outside. It's way outside. Two balls, 2 strikes. That ball's outside. You can see it from here. A couple of fans don't like it. It's hard to see the inside outside, but it's outside a couple inches. Foul ball. Pitcher and catcher, extra innings. Good battle right here. Best with the white shoes there. Rogers with the white shoes. Best taps it. It's going to be trouble. Looney comes over from third. Ooh! He dropped the ball. Uh-oh. Did Rankin drop the ball, or did he drop it, hand it to him? Justin Davis out there coaching. All right, he's out. It's the second time that Best has grounded out the third baseman. That brings the top of the order. Trent Dirth steps in. Shadows are getting longer here tonight. Trent with a bunt, and that's going to be foul. God, he's fast. His first 4 steps, he's not any faster than anybody else, but steps 6 through 10, and he can move. No balls, 1 strike to the Panther center fielder and leadoff. Well, I guess he's a shortstop now. Leadoff hitter either way. That's a ball. That's right down the middle. Down the middle. Dirth kind of sits a little close to the plate there. That ball's right on the inside corner, middle half. Oh, that's a base hit. It's right off third base. Dirth is going to end up at second on that one. He can fly. And that's a big double for the Chesapeake shortstop. 1 out double for Trent Dirth. He took that same pitch that Rogers had thrown, got out in front of it, turned on it, and knocked it right off the third base. Anytime the ball hits the base, that is fair. Thomas Sense with a big double. Last time up, scored the 6th run, the tying run, back in the 6th inning. Now has Dirth out there on second. The base hit here would score him. That's ball. A little low. All right, we got a ball game here. Panthers threatening here in the top of the 8th inning. Foul ball. Off the catcher's head. He's all right. Taking a little ribbon from the crowd. Gotta love it. Gotta be tough to play catcher. Sin's looking for that curveball. He's way up in the box. Fouled off the net. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Trent Dirth was stealing. Had a little hit and run going there. That's not a balk. You can do that to second base. Foul again. I hope it didn't hit a cart. About 2 hours and 45 minutes into this game. Hope you're enjoying it. It's been a great ball game to watch. Anytime Chesapeake and Fairland play anything, it's good, but this is good to watch them play this game, and this is a base hit. I don't know, Gavin Hunt's going to take a dive at it. Oh, what a diving catch! Gavin Hunt, Trent Dirth tags on his way to third. What an amazing play as Gavin Hunt took a line drive base hit away and a sure go-ahead run from the Panthers. Dirth with a heads-up play to tag. He's seen Gavin play center field before, so he didn't get too far from second base, and he was able to tag and advance. But there are now 2 outs. My goodness. Glad you got that on tape. Here we go. Austin Browning at the plate. Ball low. Austin with 3 walks today and a strikeout. Scored a run. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Panthers senior Austin Browning at the plate. Alex Rogers on the mound for the Dragons. Ball's right down the middle. Browning took a good cut in front of it just a little. Yeah, you got to steal him. Oh, Trent Dirth just stole home. Browning squared the bunt. Didn't make contact. Distracted the catcher. Ball dropped into the dirt. Trent Dirth was about 20 feet from home plate. He saw the ball drop, and then he just slid right in and scored the go-ahead run, making it 7-6 here in the top of the 8th inning. We got 3 balls, 1 strike. Browning off the number, and that's going to be a base hit. Oh, what a great little play. Not going to catch Browning there. Ball's thrown out of play, so a base hit, and then we'll advance on the error, throwing error there on the second baseman. It's Chapman on the throwing error as Browning will advance to second. As Trent Dirth steals home. Rogers had been pitching from the windup with the runner at third. Like I said, Dirth is fast, very fast. That brings up Travis Grimm to the plate with Browning out there looking for some insurance runs here for the Peak. Can help himself out. Travis is the pitcher of record right now, and that's fouled. Browning can fly as well out there on second. But anyway, as I was saying, Rogers was pitching from the windup, gave Dirth plenty of room to get down there, really had not paid attention to him, and Browning squared the bunt just enough to distract the line of sight of the catcher. Really didn't get far away from him, but Dirth didn't care. He was in there. I mean, that ball wasn't 4 feet from home plate, but Dirth was so close that he scored, and the Panthers take the lead. That ball's up in the air, and that's going to drop. Oh, it's past the left fielder. Browning's going to score. That ball's running. Travis Grimm is going to keep running. Gavin Hunt over to cut it off, and the Panthers have taken a 2-run lead here in the 8th inning on a base hit. RBI base hit by Travis Grimm. He will advance to second on the error, as the Dragons have had 2 errors here in the 8th inning. And Ridenauer steps to the plate. Jonah Ridenauer is the catcher. Jonah's 1 for 3 today with a base hit, a walk. That ball smacked into the stands. The Dragons 10-1 in the OVC. The Panthers 4-7 in the OVC. Dragons with a chance to clinch the OVC title with a win tonight. They're going to have to score at least 2 runs here in the bottom of the 8th to be able to do that. And boy, that sun is getting close to the tops of the trees. It's almost dark. Probably got about 20 minutes of dark, or 20 minutes of daylight left. That ball's right back at Rogers. Off his glove, steps, throws, and gets the out. But not before the Panthers strike for 2 runs here in the top of the 8th on 3 hits, 2 errors for the Dragons. But the Peak takes the lead as we head into the bottom of the 8th. The Dragons will be coming to bat with the top of their order. You're watching Armstrong Sports. All right, welcome back. You're watching Armstrong Sports High School Baseball. This is Jason Stevens, and you are watching Fairland and Chesapeake High School Baseball tonight. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning, extra innings. Chesapeake at Fairland. A back-and-forth affair as the Panthers and the Dragons have battled it out here at Roger Snyder Field on the campus of Fairland High School. And we are here in the bottom of the 8th, the Fairland Dragons trailing by 2 runs with the top of their order, Gavin Hunt leading off the 8th inning. Ball 1, Travis Grimm at the on the mound for the Peak. Travis has thrown 46 pitches, came in the 5th inning, pitched 3 innings so far. Strike. Gavin Hunt has reached on an error, scored a run, had a base hit, a big base hit, 2 RBIs back in the 5th inning on his base hit, had 3 stolen bases, struck out once, grounded to short, trying to get on the base paths. Grimm throws a little curveball in there, falls in short. Gavin is the instigator. He is the catalyst here for the Dragons. Made a great catch out in center field in the top of the 8th inning to deny the Panthers of a run or 2. There's a foul ball right at me. Good thing I ain't scared of that. All right, we got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big at bat. Dragons are the favorite here. 10-1 in the OVC. The Panthers are 4-7 in the OVC. But as you all know, if you've ever watched Chesapeake and Fairland play, you might as well just throw those records out, because it doesn't matter when they start to play. Doesn't matter what sport, boys or girls. There is a line shot into right center, and it's over Devin Stevens' head. That is going to leave Gavin Hunt on the base pass, and he can fly. He's going to end up at least 3rd. Ball's cut off to Dirth, and that is a leadoff triple/3 base error. Misplayed out there by the right fielder, and that is a big first run. Probably have to give an error on that one. Ball carried just a little further than right fielder thought there, and Hunt didn't stop running. Ends up at 3rd base. Coach Davis calls timeout, brings the whole infield in. reminding the Panthers that the runner at third really doesn't mean a whole lot if they get 3 outs. If they get the next 3 batters out, Hunt can score. That insurance run that the Panthers scored there in the top of the 8th by scoring 2 runs sure does change the strategy for the defense. As Dakota Chapman, the second baseman, steps in for Fairland. Dakota's 0 for 3, grounded out to the shortstop twice, got a walk, and struck out once. Strike 1. Travis Grimm came in the 5th inning, gave up 3 runs there in the 5th, but in the 6th and the 7th settled right down. Got 3 outs on 12 pitches in the 6th inning, got 3 outs on 7 pitches in the 7th inning. There's a ball. They're in a total of about 50 pitches now. Austin Browning started the game for the Peak, threw 92 pitches, gave up 3 runs, a couple of errors. So not all those were earned runs, is my point. I don't think Austin had any errors himself, but Panthers now with 3 errors. Two balls, 1 strike to the Panther second baseman. You have to wonder if we'll play another inning after this one is over, if it does go in, if the Dragons are able to tie the game or not win. I don't think either team really wants to play any more innings. They're ready to win the ball game right here in this inning. Dragons looking for 3 runs. The Panthers looking for 3 outs at this point. Graham with the stretch and the pitch. That's fly deep to center. Browning camping out underneath of it, floating over. Squeezes it, kind of snow cone that one. Gavin will be able to sacrifice and score. We've got a sac fly RBI. 1 out. Alex Rogers, the pitcher of record, coming to the plate. He has grounded out to second, flown out to the left fielder, and walked twice. We got 1 out. Travis Grimm coming to the plate. He's throwing 2 fly balls here in the, make that 3 fly balls. Browning on his horse, camping out, and he's got it. Travis Grimm has just thrown strikes straight into the last 3 innings, has really just started letting his defense handle it. If it wasn't for the error on the first pitch by Hunt, this game would be over. We got 2 outs, and the Dragons are down to their last out. Kyle Rankin, the senior first baseman, stepping in, had a big double last time up off of Grimm, the first time he faced Grimm. Struck out twice and grounded out a little number to the catcher, but against Grimm, he hit that ball really hard last time up to right field. There's a strike. Now Kyle has the strength to tie this game up with 1 swing. Grimm has been throwing strikes, just letting the Dragon hitters hit it and letting this defense get the outs. I got a breeze coming in now. Ooh. One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Chesapeake 8. Fairland 7. Ball. Tucker Atkins on deck for the Fairland Dragons. Tucker's 1 for 4. I'm sorry. He's 1 for 4. 1 for 3, actually. Got hit by a pitch. 3 ball, 1 strike. Got to be careful here, Travis does. Travis knows Kyle. Knows Kyle can knock it out of this park. Wants to try to get this out, but he also doesn't want to lay one in there. Good grief, look what a spider in this press box. My gosh. Oy, oy, oy. Anyway, here we go. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 1-run ball game, bottom of the 8th. Foul ball. Right back at you. Oh, Lord. All right, we got a baseball game here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're enjoying this. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-run game, Chesapeake Fairland, varsity baseball. Beautiful spring night, absolutely perfect. Hear the lawnmowers mowing in the background. Here we go, here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4. And Rankin draws a walk. Tried to get Rankin to swing at that curveball. Rankin had trouble with the curveball against Browning earlier in the game. Wasn't able to hit it. Grimm threw the curveball in there and didn't get it across the plate. Rankin was ready for it that time. Looked like Grimm had a little different release point there and kind of gave away that curveball was coming. So the game-tying run is at first base. The game-winning run is at the plate, and that is Tucker Adkins. Tucker steps in, struck out the last time up, hit by a pitch the time before that. A wild pitch puts the runner in scoring position. It's ball 1. Grimm tried to put a little extra mustard on that and just held on too tight to the ball. As Kyle Rankin draws a big walk, he's had 2 very good at-bats the last 2 times up, Rankin has. Finds himself out there on second base in a 1-run ball game. Tucker Adkins looking to put him around, and it's about the sun is just about to go down over the hill. Ball short. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Travis is taking a little extra time between each pitch. Knows what's on the line here. He's trying to throw a strike. I don't know where that spider went to. If you've ever been in the press box here at Fairland, you know what I'm talking about. That ball's right down the middle. Adkins swings. Foul ball. That was the pitch he wanted. That was the pitch he wanted. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're into 3 hours into this ball game. It's been 3 hours of good baseball. It's been fun baseball to watch. Just about anything that can happen has. There goes Rankin on the third, and he is safe. A wild pitch, 3 balls, 1 strike. Boy, is it getting interesting now. The Panthers scored on to take the lead. It was 6-6 at the beginning of the 8th inning. Panthers scored 2 runs in the top of the 8th. The first of those 2 runs was on a stealing home. Trent Durst stole home on a attempted squeeze. The ball got away from the catcher, just a few feet away, and Durst slid in and scored. But now here the Dragons have the tying run at third base, and the winning run now is at first base as Garrett Looney, the senior, comes to the plate. Coach Davis is coming in. Looks like he's going to make some changes. Has a few words to tell Mr. Grimm. Makes the whole team smile. It's hard to tell what he said. I'm sure it was go get him, let's get it out. All we need is 1 out is probably what he said. Garrett Looney, who has grounded out, struck out, flown out, and got a base hit. 1 for 4 on the day. Looking for a base hit here. 1 base hit means we could run an extra base hit, could end this game right here. Good chance this game ends on this at bat or the next. Riley Sowards is on deck for the Dragons. It's getting a little darker and darker. Don't know if your camera can tell the difference. If your TV screen, you can tell it's getting darker, but there are no more shadows. It's definitely dusk. Travis Grimm, high hard fastball. No balls, 2 strikes. Garrett Looney at the plate. Kyle Rankin at third base. Tucker Adkins at first. And that is strike 3 on the outside corner, and that is the ball game. Travis Grimm with the big strikeout. The Chesapeake Panthers with the big win. They come to Rome Township, to Fairland, and win in extra innings. Hope you all have enjoyed this. This is Armstrong Sports. My name is Jason Stevens. Your final from here in Proctorville. Chesapeake 8, Fairland 7.